Welcome back, everybody, to Fireside Pride 2024, raising money for Point of Pride. We are ready for our next speedrun, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, Meta Nightmare 100% with BeamQueenSol. Sol, let's restore those peaceful nap times to all the residents of Dreamland.
I'm amazed that I found somebody who actually knows like the stuff on that if you sit on the title screen, it actually just kind of tells you like the story. I'm so glad for that. Anyways, hello, welcome. Good morning, Fireside Pride. I am BeamQueenSol, and yeah, I'm here with Meta Nightmare. You can see him on the screen there on the side. He's simple. He wants to practice his swordplay. That's all. Nothing special. He just wants to do a quick run and just kind of hone his skills. But yeah, this is Meta Nightmare 100%. There is a little more to it, but before I kind of explain that, let me go ahead and get this run started. So we'll be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And we try to just get flung into it. So a few things. First of all, Meta Knight is very different from Kirby in terms of movement. Whereas Kirby is kind of a little bit on the floatier side and kind of a little bit slower. Meta Knight has really good ground speed, but very bad air speed. Also, he is way heavier, so he just kind of falls like a rock most of the time. Furthermore, he's locked into sword. He doesn't use anything else, but he does get an expanded moveset, kind of similar to what you would see in like games like Super Sword or the modern titles. For example, like he has like an up stab that he can do. He has a little downward attack that he can do in the air. These don't come up as much as just his standard attack, and he does actually throw himself a little bit whenever he uses it on the ground. By the way, that was our first mid-boss. That was Puppy Rubber Jr., and yeah, that was it. Be prepared, that's going to be a recurring trend throughout this run. Bosses and mid-bosses just really do not last long up against Meta Knight. That and Sword itself, even if Kirby was using it, is a very strong boss killer in this game in general. So, Meta Knight has like everything he needs to very easily succeed in this run. That said, Meta Knight is also operated under effectively extra mode rules, so he has half health, he has 3 health instead of 6. This does make things quite a bit scarier a lot of the time, especially early on here where runs with 80% and 100% for this are identical. There is no difference until we get to level 3-1, where we actually start seeing the game switches. These unlock different things in the hub, for example, like different mini games that Meta Knight can't even access in the first place. Museums where you could get abilities, but we're playing this Meta Knight, so you can't get them. They really do nothing for him. They're just kind of there. But they do give us a health refill whenever we hit them, so they do actually give a little bit extra safety in this run, and this run we kind of need. It's very easy to get punished from your mistakes, take deaths in bad places. And if any of that happens, at best it means resetting a room. At worst, it means resetting a stage because we got a game over, and we really don't want to see those in the run. By the way, here's the first boss. This is Wispy Woods. We're just going to stand in place, do this a bunch, and that's it. That's Wispy Woods. I hope you enjoyed him for all of the 10 seconds he was on screen. But yeah, that's it. We got places to be, things to run through. So Meta Knight wastes no time. In fact, this runs like no downtime to it. It's basically constant action the whole time, so I don't really get to pause too much. And it's very rare when I do get the moment. Also, that is unfortunate. Sometimes the Twister can be kind of not great on his movement, and I'm gonna kind of just be careful. It's fine. Okay, we're safe. As long as I'm careful in this next stage, we can get our health back. We're actually surprisingly fine. I know it just said, hey, it's real scary, you're on 1 health. I mean, it can be, but I promise you, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna get through it. Also, Meta Knight's weird with warp stars. He does this instead. By the way, I did, speaking of bosses, we do actually have an incentive that's still going for boss endurance. Unfortunately, Meta Knight can't do it. Meta Knight does not have like his own boss endurance mode or anything like that. But Kirby does, and we need to do different things because of that. It's really neat. It's really neat. I hope it gets met. If you want like a little incentive idea of like, well, what's this about? What does it do? So dependent on what the second boss in that one does, Paint Roller, which you'll see him very soon in this run. You'll get a glimpse at the mechanic. But we want him to drop one of two abilities, and one is definitely better than the other, but also harder. So there's a chance he'll drop a Lightning Cloud that'll give us Spark, and that'll give us one of our big strats for that run if we do that one. Ultimately, he can give us he can draw a Baseball and give us the Ball ability, and Ball is incredibly powerful, but incredibly hard to use. And I'll be honest, I don't do the manipulation strat. There is a manip strat that guarantees Ball. So we're just gonna see what he gives us. He can also give you other abilities, but those are the best two by far. And if we get Spark, we didn't use High Jump. It's actually a very neat short run. So if you wanna see that at the end of this run, get those donations in. And in fact, as I finish the stage, so there's not really much else to say over than here's Mr. Tit Talk, and he's gonna go down very quickly. If the host has any messages, this would be a good time for them.
Yeah, you've been doing a great job of doing my job for me, though. I appreciate it. So bringing it back to that boss endurance run, we are still sitting at $120 out of the $200 that we need to get that met. That is only $80 to go, and there's not a whole lot of time left in this run to get that. That is something that I definitely want to see, and also, who doesn't want to see our best friend Kirby on the screen?
Exactly. Like, sure, Meta Knight's cool and all, but Meta Knight doesn't have to do it alone.
And Kirby is friend-shaped.
Exactly. But we didn't have a little Kirby as a trait. But yeah, as we keep kind of going through here, yeah, a lot of Meta Knight. Honestly, the best way to describe Meta Knight in general is just momentum. He has a lot of momentum in everything he does. Like I mentioned earlier, he kind of carries himself forward whenever he attacks on ground. And it kind of applies to the air. Like, you've probably been seeing it several times where I've done jumps like that, where I jump and immediately do a sword swing. And Meta Knight gets a bunch of vertical momentum out of that. So it's very useful to just kind of get higher jumps than normal. And I can also jump in place to kind of not have momentum while attacking. That's also a very common boss fighting strat, just so we're not throwing ourselves constantly into enemies, because it's very easy to just do that without thinking, and then all of a sudden, oh no, he's right on top of me, and you take a hit. And that was not what I wanted, but that's okay. Finally, a little bit of his other moves in action. There's his down attack. And this is also where we finally start seeing the reason this is called 100% and not any. So there are multiple switches in this game. I think it's like 17 or something like that. I forget the exact count. But that one unlocks like an arena. We could fight, if we needed help, we could go and fight a boss there, and that's unfortunate. So sometimes Meta Knight just kind of likes the weirdly fiery facial. It's very exfoliated. Gets right into that mask. Makes it nice and tempered up. You know how it is. He cares a lot about that thing. Gotta take good care of it. Also, this one could be a little bit risky. Okay, we're fine. Sometimes I will mess that up and hit the spikes, and I really... Oh, okay, that's fine. This is also fine. I'm just going to play it very carefully, because Bugsy can do a lot of stuff to me that I don't want him to do. So, if Bugsy taught me, he effectively command grabs you. He does various different things. They're very reminiscent of Smash. There's a meme we've had in the community, effectively called, driving down the Butter Building. And it's Bugsy has this move that he just slams you into the ground repeatedly. It's very reminiscent of like down throw and smash. And that's kind of where the name came from. There was also like a whole like meme message with it too, but honestly, it's been so long since I've seen it, I don't remember it. I just remember like the base meme of just, oh yeah, he slams you into the ground a bunch. But we're just about to come up on our next arena. You've probably noticed, so for some reason, Meta Knight challenges Meta Knight. We don't know why. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna play this a little bit differently, because that night was gonna be a problem if I didn't. Anyways, I hope y'all are ready for the fastest stage of the run. It goes like this. We're gonna grab this candy, we're gonna fly up to the door, and then we're gonna fly up to the next door over here. Very quickly dash along this area here, do a quick jump to get those two Waddle Dees. Go in here, here's Bonkers. Bonkers cannot hurt us, because we're invincible. And Bonkers is done. And so is the stage for that matter. That is 3-5. I hope you enjoyed your very, very quick whirlwind tour of the stage. There's not much else to say about it. By the way, if you're wondering why don't I use these upper attacks like this, the dazzles I did to be really good, and the upper attack does and all. That is because most of these upper moves are slower or just situational, and they all do the same damage. No, there is no difference between them. They all do the exact same amount. Finally up on our second switch of the run. And if you're wondering, that would unlock a mini-game called Kirby's Air Ride. It's very much, we have Air Ride at home. Or, like, it's Air Ride, but, like, pocket size, I guess. Either way, Meta Knight's too cool for that, so we won't be playing it. So we're gonna be flying up here, and we're gonna fight the sun and the moon. So this is Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. Let's see if he did not, that's fine. That's another Kirby meme that we've had in the community. You have the sun gained and the moon through. It's like whichever one you think's gonna stay on the ground. I am the one and only sun gained holdout. Everyone else does either sticks with the moon because the moon is way more likely for some reason, or they don't choose a side and they waste a second no matter what. For what it's worth, it does actually matter if we actually choose correctly. We save a little bit of time. If we don't, we lose a little bit because we have to kind of reposition ourselves. It's not the worst thing. It's kind of like it happens. But yeah, these switches are going to come by quickly, and honestly, so is the run itself. Actually, speaking of things, how is that incentive looking so far? Or for that matter, if there's anything else you want to share, Kirby, about what we're here for.
So we are currently at $130 out of the $200 that we need. That is thanks to a $10 goodness, hello. That is a $10 donation from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you so much for that. Only $70 to go to get our best friend Kirby up on the screen and see him beat up a whole bunch of bosses. This is something that you definitely don't want to miss.
You don't have long time. You have like maybe 20 minutes. This run goes by fast.
We can do it. I know. I know it. I believe in you, chat. Let's get this incentive met.
By the way, as we get through further levels in this game, there will actually be more switches. This one has 3 instead of 2. So we have like this one in the middle. We're gonna actually be going up here. This door leads further into the stage. We don't want that. We want this one here. Because here's our switch. This is a museum. There's really nothing to note about this one except that particular one has ball, which I've mentioned before. It might show up in boss endurance if we meet the incentive. But also it has sleep, which does nothing. Kirby takes a nap. That's it. That's the ability.
I have that same ability.
I feel like that's a mood for a lot of people. Funny enough, also another kind of small meme in the community, and also a category extension that we have that's called Night at the Museum. It's kind of like a mini version of the 80% run, except you get that switch, go into the museum, and then get sleep. And if you thought that wasn't, like, oh, why do you have that? Reasons. In fact, we have drive down to motor building percent, which is straight up. You enter 3-2 and then try to get down throw as fast as you can. It's a thing. There's not really much else to say about either of those. Just kind of very silly meme runs. So there were a bunch of them in the community. And I think Waldo had something to say about that one, so, duly noted. I'm not going to say much more on that because, I've been very much a propagator of that myself. Like, the reason solo ability boards exist for that game included, although the first one of those was not one I made. That one would be Beam percent. I just ended up being really good at it.
Chat,
do I?
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Only $20 to go for that boss endurance run.
Let's go.
Come on, we're almost there.
Well, whoever, like, the person or people who sent that, thank you. You have my gratitude. Let's do that last little push. I'd love to be able to do the boss endurance run.
So you can send your thank you to Moowear, who donated $50 with no comment. Thank you so much for that generous donation.
See, I understand. Words don't need to be said. We understand. It's we want the friend. By the way, there's Mr. Tit Talk again. He rained very loudly. That's it. By the way, I do see a message about chat being cute, and you know what? It's true. Chat is cute.
I agree. Chat is super cute.
Kirby is also cute. We didn't argue Meta Knight is cute. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit safe, grab that just so I don't die on Kracko, because that would be very unfortunate. But there's Kracko. He'll meet us at the top. We're just gonna fly away. He can't catch up to us. There's no way. Although he's gonna cheat when we get here. So he just kind of like, oh, there he is, I guess. And that's it. That's Kracko. But like I said, Meta Knight deals with these very easily. Although certain ones are definitely harder than others, especially when we get towards the end of the run. But once we get a certain point in this run, we're actually gonna start seeing a switch in every stage. And this is the world where that starts, so, like, we had 2 in the last world, we have 3, oh, sorry, we had 2 in level 3, 3 in the last one. This one has 4. So the next couple of stages won't have one, and then when we get to 5-4, we start running into a switch every stage until 7-1. And then we go back to, there's only 2 switches, so, the bulk of the 100% stuff is actually going to be here. It does make the run take slightly longer compared to 80%. Like 80%, if you're skilled enough, you can do that in like under half an hour in game. I think the RTA is like a minute slower for 80%. For Hundo, it's a little bit longer, but it's not by much. By the way, here's Bonkers again. That was kind of unfortunate, but that's alright. Just means I might need to grab an extra heal when I get into the next stage, because the next stage has a very scary segment that I, will want to be at full health for, just in case things go wrong. Because they can, and sometimes honestly will. But right now I have a lot of vertical movement, now I have a lot of horizontal movement, and Meta Knight just kind of do what he does best. Just, again, he has a very good running speed on ground. And also, if you're looking at this and you're like, that looks actually kind of easy, trust me, it's not. It really isn't. I make this run look a lot easier than it actually is. This run is actually very difficult. There's a lot of stuff that you can just kind of end up doing without really thinking about it. A lot of stuff you can just kind of run into until you have like a really good hand on movement. I'm gonna be quiet for a second. Almost. Almost. That was very close. If I do that correctly, it's really cool looking because I just barely jump away from the spikes. And then at the end, I do like this little sword swing to throw myself just enough to clear them at the end. If I don't, I can just kind of walk through them like that. Sometimes Meta Knight gets weirdly sticky on the floor, where he'll just kind of not leave. Like, or stuff like that happens. Sometimes I just miss the input, it's fine. Also, we're still not sure why Meta Knight keeps challenging himself here. Like, I don't know if that's actually Meta Knight, or he like has one of his Meta Knights dressed up as him, or what, but I'm starting to find an issue with that, and I think I might need to do something about it sooner rather than later.
I think it's just more of a trust nobody, not even yourself.
You know, I didn't think of it like that.
I have fantastic news for you, though, if you have a quick second.
Yeah, go for it.
You are going to be doing that boss endurance run.
Alright, let's go.
Thank you so much, everybody. That is $200 raised for Point of Pride. And also thank you to Iris City for getting us that final push of $20 with no comment. We really appreciate that. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic addition to the marathon. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, also shout outs to Iris, because I know Iris has shown up in my chat a few times pretty recently. So honestly, seriously, thank you. I hope I won't disappoint with boss endurance. Regardless, we get Kirby as a treat. And that's more money to Point of Pride. So honestly, I'm very glad for that. If that Chippy, if you want to like talk about that a little bit while I take care of a cat problem.
Absolutely. So as a reminder for everyone, we are raising money for Point of Pride. Point of Pride is a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit organization, and they have served tens of thousands of people in all 50 states and 100-plus countries by providing access to gender-affirming health and wellness services. One of those services that they provide is called the Thrive Fund, which is a generalized fund to help cover a wide range of gender-affirming care and services, such as updating IDs, vocal therapy, and reproductive health services. If you want to learn more about Point of Pride, you can visit their website, pointofpride.org.
Yeah, and honestly, being trans myself, I'm very glad that stuff like that is around. Honestly, for anyone that needs it, because there are definitely a lot of people who could definitely use it, and seriously, every dollar helps for stuff like that. By the way, we're just about to go on our next boss. So this is Heavy Mole, and I need to be actually weirdly careful here. Heavy Mole takes a little bit longer between attacks. But the other thing I have to worry about is, you see how I just slashed that floor? I could actually fall through that and take a death, and we really don't want that, because that means refighting the boss. Anyways, welcome to Orange Ocean. Probably one of the scarier parts of any run of this game, not just Meta Knight. Especially level 1, especially stage 1. This one has just a lot of very tricky enemy placement that I know how to deal with because I have run this game entirely to a lot. And in fact, you're gonna see me just kind of walk here instead of run. And that's just so I have a little bit more reaction time to deal with what's on screen without having to try to constantly keep dash state between it. But yeah, we are now very firmly in the there are switches everywhere part of the run. So you're gonna see, like, if you do level 6 80%, it's very different from the 100% version because there's a lot of this going on. If you're doing this as Kirby, it's even more different. Because in that run, around like 5.5, your scratch change entirely from 80%. Because you start actually needing different abilities than you actually have for those portions. And it comes down to having kind of knowing what you need to do for it, and also being very good at mixing, because we even mixed for UFO in that run. But this stage here, there are these two enemies that give us burning, and we could use those to mix UFO. That's how we would get it. Luckily, Meta Knight doesn't need that. He has his sword. His sword can do any puzzle in the game. You see that heavy block there? He can just run right through it. Pounding the stage, it's also no problem. He can light fuses. It is seriously any puzzle he needs. Like, see, take the point. Just gives it like a quick tap, and already the fuse is lit and going to the cannon. We're not sure why. Meta Knight is definitely a not a unique sword, we'll say. Okay, a little bit careful here, because this room's a little bit risky. Okay, we were fine. And it just kind of keeps going. By the way, that enemy, that's called a Slippy. Yeah, yes, for some reason, we have two Nintendo frogs with Slippy as their name. I'm not sure why. The Slippy in this game, honestly, not a friend. Not a friend. They're very mean. We're making good time on the switches so far. We got two more in this, because we're in stage 4 right now. You know, again, pretty obvious. Again, I said they were in every stage, and I meant it. They're in every stage. So I hope you like seeing big buttons being pressed down. Because there's still definitely more of those. In fact, there's gonna be 3 more of those, in quick succession, and then 4 more, because we have one at the end of the near the end of the run. And that one's a really nice one. It's a neat little Easter egg to another game in the series. I won't say more for now. If you know, you know, because again, this game's been out for quite a long time. So has the original NES game that this was a remake of. Sadly, you couldn't control Meta Knight in that one. Oh, also shout out to this music. I love this music a lot. It's not my overall favorite in this game. My favorite actually would be Better Buildings from way earlier in the run. But Rainbow Resort's music, which is what you're hearing right now, will show up throughout that level as well. It's just a very good track. In fact, there's also like a little kind of music box thing that came out a few years ago, and it plays like a little music box version of it. It's like a statue style like the Fountain of Dreams and everything. It's really neat. Also, the game has decided we need to fight 2 of these at the same time, because clearly 1 is not cutting it. Unfortunately, we're Meta Knight, so 2 is also not cutting it. Might need like 3 or something give him like a proper challenge. Also, Meta Knight, further proven, don't trust anybody, not even yourself. We may have to make, that might become more personal very soon. Also, trust me, this is the hardest arena. I made that look easier, and I still kind of had a not great moment there. By the way, here's Meta Knight. So, yeah, we're fighting ourselves, and I might die here because that was a bad opener. Never mind, we're fine. That's gone by a few different names. I know, Mr. Shasta, Mr. Underscore Shasta, very important, I remember the underscore. I know he's called, I think, like, Raw Top 8 or something. And honestly, that's stuck in my head ever since. So that's kinda how it feels. Unfortunately, I'm not that good with Meta Knight in Smash in general, let alone Brawl. So I don't really know what to tell you on that one. But that's the last Switch for a little while. We won't have another one until the end of this level. So I hope you enjoyed, big button being pushed, because, it's unfortunately, done for now. But what isn't done is, the mini bosses. Now we have 7-2, the mid boss rush of the run. The second path is harder, but there's only 4 bosses compared to, I think, just like 8 or 9 in the lower path. By the way, there's Fan. Fan can be kind of mean. Okay, we're fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, good setup from Bugsy. Okay, as long as I'm careful on Fire Lion here, we should be okay. It's fine. Oh, hey, it does get left with 1 health at the end of it. I know that sounds like a weird aside. So yesterday I had a fight with this where I got that hit in, and then it grabbed me, and Meta Knight took the death for it. I thought the game did a weird thing, but apparently no. It's just left with 1 health after attack number 6. By the way, really neat little room here. Very tricky movement because of all the platforms and the way to position, and especially the. I see Scholars mentioned about the everything is fine style comms. It's funny you mentioned that. I also have an emote that is it's Fire Kirby with a fiery background, and it says "This is fine."
I love that.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to like post it at the moment, and I don't know if if anyone subscribed to me is actually in the chat right now. So I'll find a moment. Probably be when I get the final Switch. Honestly, probably one of my favorite emote styles, because I've seen so many iterations of it, and all of them are great. Oh yeah, by the way, this stage is also very difficult. It's very much a quote-unquote Mario Maker level, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, good. Oh, that's kind of less than great pattern. That's alright. We just take them down. It's all good. And then we very carefully just jump across these, take down these enemies as they try to come up at us. And then we will continue from there. And just in case you thought you could rest on your laurels, there's one last one that tries to go for you real quick. Okay, we're fine. It's very simple. Just don't get hit. and we'll be fine. By the way, the stage was really neat. Shout-outs to Kirby's Dreamland, the first game in the series. Adventure was the second game, and they did this as like kind of a homage to that, to its previous title. It's a little more out of place here, but only because like everything's in color now instead of. Aww, that's fine. We didn't see this room. This room's really neat. So here's the squishies. We'll just kind of leave them as they are, and then we deal with these, and we're good. Honestly, for that to be my first death of the run, that is actually very solid. Average for me is usually, at worst, maybe 2 to 3 in a run. One is slightly better. Deathless is even better, but again, it's Meta Knight, very difficult. But now we're coming up on our final switch. This is Moon Room. By the way, I had just enough time to do that posted.
Speedrunning games and Twitch chat. Wow.
Anyways, here's our final boss. This is King DDD. Time will be when I did the last hit on him. It'll be very quickly if I do this correctly, and he's being very nice right now. And time.
GG, excellent.
And then afterwards, Meta Knight just broods over a cliff. As he does. As he does. He loves doing that. It's very fun for him. It's very, very soothing. But we're not done here. We're not done here, because we have boss endurance.
We do.
And this one will be interesting. Like I said, we actually use Kirby because Meta Knight's not an option. We have different, so we actually get access to abilities. Although we are limited to what actually shows up during it, unless we set up a mix, and setting up a mix is kind of a pain. But anyways, this also, funny enough, this also uses in-game time. But there's not much of a difference because it's so short. But anyways, we will start this in 3, 2, 1, go. And it's very straightforward, and you'll notice immediately, my movement is very different now, because we have Kirby. Here he is. We have the friend. And with speed, we have a different strat here, so for this, we can get 2 double stars in a single, and that'll take them out immediately. Now we have Paint Roller. We want Paint Roller to actually draw things. 1, we can't attack them otherwise, but 2, we really want Spark or Ball. That is Crash. We don't want Crash. Hopefully he'll give us something. If not, we can work without it. That is Wheel. We absolutely do not want Wheel. Wheel also breaks Heavy blocks, and Heavy Ball will be a problem. And, okay, I guess it's time for Ball. It's also time for me to miss that attack. And this is what Ball does. Ball is incredibly powerful, but when you hit the ground and at the apex of your jump, you are not invincible. And then that's what makes Ball very hard to use. It's very easy to take a straight hit because your positioning was bad. And by the way, it is actually faster to not use high jump here if we have Ball, because Ball will take down Krato in 4 hits. And trust me, you will see what I mean very quickly. So Krato's running down until set up here. I'm gonna go into Ball mode, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. It's gonna be the same for Heavy Ball as well. Oh, that's a very clean Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball can go wrong very easily. We are forced to sword for Meta Knight because now we actually do fight properly. I need Meta Knight to stop parrying me though. There we go. And now for DDD, where we basically do the any percent strat. Oh, that was flawless.
Beautiful.
Alright, and here's the boss we don't get to fight as Meta Knight. So this is Nightmare. He has 2 modes. He has 2 forms. This is his orb form. Like if you like, if you're familiar with GDQ memes, this is like the progenitor, just a big orb. Everything this thing does is mostly set. I'm gonna back off just for. Okay, that's okay. I got plenty of health right now. Not quite as fast as I'd like. Chargeless is a little bit better if I can get that, but that's all right. And then we go to the moon. And then we go to the moon, and we have like a whole like little cutscene here. As Nightmare transforms from its orb state to best described as wizard form. Admittedly, this fight is kind of just a formality because it's very much a set pattern. If you know the pattern, the fight is absolutely trivial. And I have done this so many times, I know this extremely well. Time will be on last hit, and it'll be a lot more easily noticed for this fight compared to King Dedede a minute ago. So there's 3. Now he'll go to the side, he'll try to kind of fake me out a little bit, like this. And then I just time an attack. There we go. I'm not sure how tight I'm getting those attacks in, to be honest. I just kind of vibe, if I'm being honest here. Alright, last hit's about to come up. Time. And then we have this animation. Just a very, very long thing. But yeah. That's boss endurance. It's real fun. It's actually surprisingly difficult at times if you're not good on your movement, because I have definitely died multiple times in this run, doing this run. But I guess some real quick shout outs. Obviously shout outs to the Kirby community at large, because there was a lot of wonderful people there. There's too many people to shout out. But if you want to learn this run or learn any others, speedrun.com/Kirby. We have a Discord server. We also have a speedrun wiki, kirbyspeedrun.com. So if you want to learn it, if you want to just find a wiki and learn it that way, do it that. You have options. I'll keep my own shout out short because I actually have another run like not too long after this one. But if you want to find me at twitch.tv/BeamQueenSol, I'm that on like most places. If you like this run, definitely follow me there. But otherwise, let me throw it back to the host for the next run. You will see me again real soon because I'm running Spyro after that run.
Great, well, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you, chat, for helping us get that boss endurance run. That was a lot of fun to watch, and as always, I love seeing my friend Kirby. So everyone, you are watching Fireside Pride 2024. Stay tuned for Fire Rock. Beat the game with Mooware. We'll be back in just a moment. Hello, Pride 2024, benefiting Point of Pride. While we're waiting for Fire Rock to get set up, I wanted to take this time to update y'all about some of our incentives. So after Fire Rock is Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and we do currently have a poll open where you get to decide Spyro's color. Yellow has hopped straight into first place with $100, but Pink is following closely behind at $85. There's definitely a chance, if you are a big fan of Pink, there's a chance to overtake Yellow and see your favorite color on the screen. Or if you're more of a purple person, purple is sitting in third place at $55, so you'd only need like $50 to get a good lead over Yellow there. We also have an incentive open for Metal Gear Solid to upgrade the game to any % extreme. We need $300 to get that met. And you only have Fire Rock and Spyro Reignited Trilogy to meet that. So this is going to make the game more difficult and give us more marathon, and who doesn't want that? So make sure that when you're donating that you are choosing a target and a poll, because with Tiltify you can do both. Your donation can go to both. And help us get those incentives met and make your opinion heard. Hey chat, we will be back in just one quick moment. Coming up next is Fire Rock Beat the Game with Mooware.